Box 53, Tennessee Wesleyan University. Box 55, Huntington College. And in box 56, Meridian Community College. Ladies and gentlemen, your field for the 2024 Southern Showcase.
I didn't see it there either.
10 minutes away from
So yeah, I guess you can kind of steer it here.
Yeah.
And then come across, and then obviously, and they will just give you a real quick layout of this because I think that Sean might be going from one street to the other. I'm going to put you between them. You're going to come down through here, go out through this way, and you're going to be looping through on the back. That's you down to the face, and right across here, and then we'll do a horseshoe and actually come right back across this field again. And then the last shot before, like, I mean, they're going to figure to spread out by that point.
Yeah.
On the top of that hill, they're going to kind of come down that hill through the distance there. But that's the basically the 5K course, which is the winning group. And then the 8K, they're going to start here, do that, then come back through here, and then they're going to come back through here once more, and then do that other course.
Yeah, you can see the game. And this is the finish line.
Yep. So this will be that final finish. The guys' race will probably be won in about 23 minutes or so. The girls will probably be won in about 16. So, yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. Yep. I'm gonna get out of your way.
Is it already ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm not very good with this tech stuff.
oh yeah. It looks
Give them a rundown on like how to paint, like. Well, I don't know. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, if you just be creative with it, whenever they start, try to follow it as much as you can all the way down to the end. They're going to come back through here. I gave him the capture them, try to capture them. I gave him the rundown. And then obviously, whenever they're getting close to the end, you'll zoom all the way down. You're just going to be slowly zooming it back out as they get here and then leaving it on the finish.
okay. Sounds good.
Awesome. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'm sure we'll get there, but I can't put them coming forward.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the 2024 Jacksonville Gamecocks Southern Showcase here in beautiful Huntsville, Alabama, John Hunt Park. We have dodged several bullets over the last couple of days with Hurricane Francine, and fortunately the course is in very good condition. Very little rain came through here over the last couple of days, so we are looking forward to an excellent race this morning. We had some very light drizzle to open up the day, but we are just about 7 minutes away here from the start of the 2024 Men's 8K here at the Southern Showcase. Host school is Jacksonville State University. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this morning to the race coverage here. We had a delayed start here due to the unknown with the hurricane that came through, Tropical Storm Francine. But currently we have about 220 viewers right now, so thanks to everyone that's coming out early and starting your Friday morning off right, starting the weekend off right here with us on YouTube. Looking forward to some excellent running. We've got about 50 schools entered between the men's and women's races this morning, so should be some very large fields. Should see some good fast times. Looking forward to seeing what the men have up in just about 5 minutes here in the men's 8K.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are 5 minutes away from the start of our first race of the morning, our men's 8 kilometer.
All right, I've just got about 3.5 minutes here to run through, but we've got stacked field here. We've got Alabama, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Anderson, South Carolina, Auburn, Auburn Montgomery, Austin P, Belmont, Blue Mountain, Bryan, Calhoun Community College, Chattanooga, Covenant, Cumberland out of Tennessee, Cumberlands, Daytona State College, Delta State, Emmanuel out of Georgia, Enterprise State Community College, Faulkner University, Florida Gulf Coast, Florida Southern, Florida Track Club, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Huntington, Kennesaw State, Kentucky, Lee out of Tennessee, Louisville, Marion Military Institute, Memphis, Meridian Community College, Middle Tennessee State, Miles, Mississippi State, Mississippi Valley, Missouri St. Louis, Montevallo, Morehead State, North Alabama, Northeast Alabama Community College, Northwest Shoals Community College, Pasco Hernando State College, Pellissippi State, Running Lane Club, Sanford, South Alabama, South Florida, Southern Miss, Talladega, Tennessee Wesleyan, Troy, UAB, ULM, UNA Auburn Montgomery, UNA Florida Southern. Sorry, these are unattached Auburn Montgomery, unattached Florida Southern, unattached Pasco Hernando State College, unattached UT Southern, Vanderbilt, West Georgia, Western Kentucky, and William Carey. So today we will have a 1,600 meter split. We will also have 4.6K, 6.2K, and then a finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing in the Rocky
All right, here we go. We are just moments away here from the start of the men's 8K. All right, we've got a good clean start here. Looks like for this men's 8K full field here, about 50 teams are entered into today's event. A lot of unknowns with the weather the last couple days here in the southeast United States, particularly in the Gulf Coast area with hurricane and then tropical storm Francine. But we are here nonetheless, and everything is going well. All right, early into the lead here, we've got Alabama, Kentucky, Georgia in the mix there as well. Still very early in the race, obviously, but beautiful day here at John Hunt Park in Huntsville, Alabama. They will do a smaller loop first to start the day, and then they will finish what is a 5K loop. So basically a 3K loop to start off the morning, and then they will roll into the normal 5K loop here at John Hunt Park. So that is the order of operations here. So first loop, 3K, followed up by a 5K loop to make the men's 8K. We have an Anderson athlete here in the early lead. That is Elliott Dotson of Anderson there to the early lead here in this men's race. Followed up by Ryan Ulrey of Georgia there in second place. Again, these guys will start off with a 3-kilometer loop to start the morning here. They are just past the 1K mark here on John Hunt course. All right, we are coming up on about the 1.5 mile mark here in just a moment. Still there, Anderson athlete leading the charge there, kind of leading the way. We've got a few Alabama guys in the mix there, Kentucky competitor as well. About 8 minutes into the race here. The windy conditions this morning are making things a little bit different from the broadcasting perspective here, but so we apologize for those technical difficulties, but we are doing the best we can to bring you this. If you've seen any of the flags blowing around, we do still have some sustained winds of 20 to 25 miles an hour here with some gusts up to 40 miles an hour in Alabama right now. So Hurricane Francine, Tropical Storm Francine is definitely taking a little bit of a toll on the area, but we dodged any major storms and a lot of rain. So the course is in fairly good condition this morning. As we roll along here, coming up through the 3K mark, these guys are really out just for a Sunday stroll so far. It'll be interesting to see what this second loop, the 5K loop, looks like for these guys. Victor Kiprop there of Alabama in the lead there with that lead group. We got Collins Kipnog of Kentucky. Still Ryan Ulrey of Georgia there in the mix as well. That's Hillary Chariot of Alabama over there to the right-hand side. If you're a viewer at home, you're seeing him out to the right there, kind of staying away. Up to 457 viewers at home. Appreciate you guys tuning in, watching the coverage here of some of your favorite college cross-country athletes. All right, this lead group has narrowed quite a bit now. It's Victor Kiprop there of Alabama still leading the charge. Kentucky still in the mix. That is Hillary Chariot of Alabama there as well. So through 4.6 kilometers, Victor Kiprop went through in 13:44. Dennis Kipruto of Alabama there, the freshman also there in the mix. Brian Bett of North Alabama. Ian Kibawat of Louisville there. Christian Giller of Florida Southern through 4.6K. Michael Scora, 13:46 of Vanderbilt. We got 3 Belmont athletes, Nick Moda, Zach Schaefer, and Carter Cheeseman, all there in the top 10 as well. And then Hudson Hurst of Alabama in 10th position there. Coming up on 16 minutes in the race. They are just over halfway, or excuse me, just over 5K through the race right now or so. And they are about 1.5 miles to the finish from this point right here in the race. So as they come up this little hill here, it's a little deceiving, hard to tell, but there is a little bit of a rise there as they come up on 1.5 to go or so. Good crowd support out here this morning for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks Southern Showcase here in beautiful Huntsville, Alabama, John Hunt Park. Try to get you some of the action back and more towards the middle of the pack, as well as those runners come up that same hill that the leaders just came up there. 1.5 to go there for them. Slight downhill for the leaders now as they are going to make a little hairpin turn. They're going to swoop left, and then they're going to come up on about 1.1 to go. So your next timing mat there will be about the 1.1 to go mark. That'll be the 6.2K, roughly. So you'll see that up there. That's 1.1 to go for all you Americans out there. If you're a European metric person, 6.2K mark coming up here in just about 30 seconds or so. Still Victor Kiprop there. Looks like he might be putting a little bit of pressure on the field here, trying to spread things out maybe just a little bit. Here we go. We're coming up on the 6.2K mark here in just a few seconds here. But it's a race of about 7 guys, excuse me, that are kind of strung things out. They've opened up a big gap over to the 9th and 10th place runners here this morning. So there we are, 6.2K mark. We'll get those times here, but unofficially 18:37 or so through the 6.2K mark. Again, as Victor Kiprop, Alan Kiplagat of Middle Tennessee State there in the mix as well. Brian Bett of North Alabama there as well. Elliott Dotson of Anderson still up in there. It did look like we missed maybe some of those front few runners there on the official results, but the timing company will get that sorted out, no problem, I'm sure. But right now, this is Victor Kiprop of Alabama. Alabama is going 1-2-3 right now, trying to string things out. They're coming up on the biggest hill of the course here. If you're not familiar with John Hunt Park, there is a significant little hill. And at the top of that hill, you're at about 1K to go. So right now, those athletes are charging up this hill here. You might notice it by their cadence or their stride as they change their form just a little bit as they get up these hills, go a little bit more to the arms there, and you can kind of see from the depth of field there back to the back there how there is some elevation rise there. All right, they've got a nice little downhill with about 1,000 to go now for these guys. They're going to come down, make a sweeping left-hand turn, then they'll have a big horseshoe, and then you'll see them coming into the home stretch before too long. We're at 20:28 right now on the clock, unofficially. Again, this is Victor Kiprop of Alabama still leading the way. Jeffrey Kirwa of Louisville there in second place, wearing bib number 813. Trying to mix it up there with the Alabama guys, break up that little contingency, break up that little pack that they've got going. This is Victor Kiprop breaking away a little bit, opening up a lead of about 5 meters over Jeffrey Kirwa of Louisville. Coming up on just about 600 meters to go here for him. As you'll see, he's checking the shoulder a little bit. He's got a nice little downhill on this section coming up. And that is Dennis Kiproto of Alabama and Hillary Chariot of Alabama back in third and fourth position here. But this is Victor Kiprop right now coming down with about 500 to go right now. All right, this is Victor Kiprop of Alabama, opened up about a 20-meter lead or so here on the rest of the runners. And we are going to switch here to the finish line cam and watch him come in the home stretch. Jeffrey Kirwa of Louisville trying to hold off Alabama's 2 and 3. But this was Victor Kiprop of the University of Alabama, who ran controlled and relaxed early for the first half of the race, and he is going to be your 2024 Southern Showcase champion. Right now, that is Alabama with 3 runners in there, so they are off to a great start there for the team competition. Officially right now, Victor Kiprop, 23-25 this morning for the University of Alabama. So you can tell this is an absolutely huge field here. Just swarms of guys coming in. 25-20 on the clock. Course is in really good condition. Very fast course today. Fast times all around. I'm sure these guys will be happy about it. The overcast skies and breeze has also kept the temperature down. Historically speaking, this course or this particular meet can get quite warm on you. Fortunately for these guys today, we don't have that problem. Nice breezy morning and overcast skies, so pretty good weather here. You can also tune in to Express Timing. That's Express, P-R-E-S-S, timing.com for all your live results. They do a great job. Paul and Dan and crew over there do a wonderful job providing live results for a lot of area meets in the southeast region. So be sure to check them out. Looks like officially or unofficially, Alabama is going to be your team winner this morning with 28 points right now. Unofficially, of course, Belmont in second right now. Currently, there is still some movement going on as runners come in and displace people, add to the team scores. Georgia Tech sitting in third right now. Louisville fourth. Kentucky fifth. Georgia sixth. Vandy in seven. Anderson, South Carolina, bumped up to ninth. Middle Tennessee State is in eighth there. Cumberland's back in 10th position right now. But right now it is all Alabama. They've bumped up to 38 points, but they've still got a nice healthy lead over second place, which was Belmont. Belmont had a nice tight group, finishing 11th, 16, 18, 21, and 25 unofficially in the team competition. Still loads of runners coming in. There was about 50 teams or so entered into the meet. So you can do the math. Every team had 7 runners, quite a large field there. Unofficially, there were 544 entries into today's race. So you can see that's quite a large field. But fortunately, this course is a type of course that can handle it. Very wide, sweeping turns, nothing sharp. Runners don't get pinched on any sharp turns or anything like that. So if the course is dry, it is fast. And if the weather is cool, it also helps with that as well. So great morning here to start off the weekend here at John Hunt Park. This is the Southern Showcase presented by Jacksonville State University. Team scores have been updated. Alabama still in the lead there with 45 points. Belmont out of Tennessee with 105. Georgia Tech sitting in third currently with 124. Kentucky 136 in fourth. Georgia 147 in fifth. Louisville 164, led by Jeffrey Kirwa, who finished second overall. Lee Division II school finishing seventh today, 197 points. Love to see that as a former D2 athlete myself. Seventh overall for Lee University. Anderson out of South Carolina, 8th, 250 points. Middle Tennessee State, 9th. Vanderbilt is 10th. Florida Southern back in 11th. Cumberland's in 12th. Missouri St. Louis in 13th. North Alabama, 14th. Samford, 15th. ULM in 16th. Chattanooga, 17. Cumberland out of Tennessee in 18. Florida Gulf Coast in 19. And rounding out your top 20 this morning is Western Kentucky in 20th position. Again, you can find all these results at expresstiming.com. That's expresstiming.com, letter X, and then presstiming.com. Thanks again for everybody that's tuning in this morning. Appreciate you guys. Hope you're going to stick around for the women's race, which will be up here in just about 30 minutes or so. We're going to get underway for the women's race. So hopefully you enjoyed the coverage. We apologize for the technical difficulties. The windy conditions here in Huntsville making some of the tech a little bit more difficult to work with than what we had hoped and what we had liked. But nonetheless, at one point in this weekend, we thought we were going to have to cancel the streams altogether. So we're thankful that we're able to bring it to you at all. And got two cameras here for the first time, cart camera and then another camera that is providing coverage of the finish line and the open areas. So thank you again for tuning in this morning. Again, if you haven't checked out the results, you can check those out at expresstiming.com. Men's race is coming to a conclusion here. We've still got several athletes out on the course, but beautiful morning for cross-country race here in beautiful Huntsville, Alabama. John Hunt cross-country course, home to D1 regionals a couple times now. Division II South regions will be hosted here this fall, here in November. University of Alabama in Huntsville Division II program here in town also hosts a mid-season meet as well. Followed up tomorrow will be the high school division of the Southern Showcase. That is presented by Huntsville High School, one of the better programs here in the state of Alabama at the high school level. So that meet will have, 2,000, 3,000 athletes over the course of Saturday morning here at John Hunt Park. Also, the Randolph High School Randolph Invitational in October will be streamed here by us again. Running Lane will be providing live streaming of the Randolph Invitational in October. That will also double up as the Metro Cross Country Championships here for the Huntsville metro area. And then, of course, in December, Running Lane has its own high school championships. December 8th will be the Running Lane Cross Country Championships, will be in its next edition. So we'll hopefully have good weather similar to this morning where we dodged all the rain over the last couple of days, and it'll be a good time. So high school runners, if you're interested in running a postseason meet, we encourage you to check that out. You can check out all of our information at runninglane.com. Again, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Do want to give a special shout out to the Huntsville Sports Commission as I change cameras here over to both cameras. You can see Huntsville Sports Commission. They are a tremendous sponsor of not only this event, our Running Lane Cross Country Championships, but also other events all over the city of Huntsville, other sports as well. We had the U.S. Nationals Table Tennis Championships here in Huntsville, Alabama this year. We have college volleyball tournaments. We've got it all in Huntsville, Alabama. So if you've never been to Huntsville and you're looking for a good visit, check it out. We're also home of the Space and Rocket Center here in Huntsville. So lots of cool things going on. Home of NASA Marshall Space Flight Center here in Huntsville as well. So some of the brightest minds in the business live here in Huntsville, Alabama. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to stop flapping my gums here for a moment and let you guys enjoy the beautiful scenery at John Hunt Park, and we will be back here in about 15 minutes for the women's race.
University. Box 32, Cumberland University. Box 43, Georgia Tech.
All right, we got the ladies of Auburn University there warming up, doing a little,
Box 45,
some strides, warming up here before the ladies race, which is set to kick off here in just 11 minutes now. 11 minutes.
Box 48, Huntington College. Box 49, Delta State. Box 51, Talladega College. Box 52, Marion Military Institute. Box 53, Montevallo University. Box 54, Tennessee Wesleyan. Box 55, Moorhead State. Box 56, Emmanuel College. And in box 57, Covenant College.
All right, let's hear it,
Ladies and
fans in the
gentlemen,
chat. Let's
we
hear it.
are
Who do you
10
think is
minutes
going to
away
win
from
this
the start
women's race this
of our
morning?
women's
Team race. Who is going to win the team race this morning? Do we have any fans of particular squads here in the chat? We got Alabama again, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Anderson, Auburn, of course. A lot of SEC schools here at this meet. Should be interesting to see. We've got a Warhawk fan in the chat, Julie. Thanks for tuning in this morning, Julie. Appreciate you guys coming and watching the stream here. Beautiful Huntsville, Alabama. Called out, Ray, called out. But we do appreciate you tuning in. We just ask that everybody be respectful of all the athletes and competitors this morning. About 4 minutes away here from the start. Again, this is a 5K race here for the ladies at the Southern Showcase presented by Jacksonville State University. Big shout out to Jeremy Province, of the head coach at Jacksonville State. He's a great guy and doing a tremendous job with this meet and other meets that he hosts. Turn around that program there, just been there for a couple years now. So shout out to Jeremy, Coach Jeremy Province at Jacksonville, for putting this all together, along with, of course, the help of the City of Huntsville, Parks and Rec, and the Huntsville Sports Commission. We got a Florida Gulf Coast Eagles fan in the chat. Nancy Chepleading from Forest says that they're going to get the W. We'll see. We're up to 365 competitors. If you got friends or family, send them a direct link to the chat here. And let's have a good time watching this women's 5K together. We are just about 3 minutes away here from the start. We got some state fans in here, looks like. Just no cowbells, please. We don't need any of that noise in Huntsville, Alabama. We got the mocks from UT Chattanooga down just for the short drive. Good to see it. And we've got the famous cow in the chat. Tied by a million, he says. That is Charles Owen Walker, the Huntsville legend, in the chat this morning. Oh no, we're seeing more state fans coming in, more cowbells. Got some Wildcat fans from Kentucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are 2 minutes away. 2 minutes away from the start of our women's 5-kilometer race.
Thanks for tuning in, L Pitts. We appreciate you tuning in. We are just happy to provide coverage as often as possible to the sport that we are so passionate about. So thank you so much for tuning in. We got some Western Kentucky fans in the chat. We've got DAR's greatest athlete, Bailey Kendrick, in the chat. That's right. Lace him up for a 200 anytime, Bailey. I'm ready for it. All right, we are just a moment away here from the start of the women's 5K this morning at John Hunt Park.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again to go racing in the Rocket City.
All right, looks like we got a good start here this morning for the women's 5K here, underway now. So if you're tuning in at home, maybe pull up another window, pull it up somewhere. We got express timing giving all the live results today, so you can check that out, expresstiming.com. Paul and Dan and crew do an excellent job over there at Express Timing. If you're ever needing a timer, check them out. So today we're going to have a mile splits at the, splits at the 1,600 meter mark, the 3,200 meter mark, and then of course at the finish line here for the women's 5K. So right now it looks like the ladies are underway here. Good quick start, good clean start. Nice split view of the field and the fans that are coming out this morning to support all these athletes. We had over 500 competitors in the men's race. In just a few moments, I'll get you the numbers on the girls' race as well. All right, that's Feline Cheruto of Alabama there in the front. Nancy Chepleading of Louisville out to a good start as well. I believe this is Doris Lemingol of Alabama there in third position. So underway here. Good start here for the ladies race. So coming down this hill there, about the 800 meter mark. Good quick start here for these ladies. So we'll see what they look like coming up. We did try to make some changes in our little break between the men's and the women's race. We'll see if they play out. So we have some less dropped frames here. So far so good right now. Just trying to constantly be improving our game, providing better coverage for you as much as possible at least. That's Faith Niathi, unattached runner there in the white top, black bottoms, blue shoes. Addison Dorenkamp of Alabama wearing bib number 13. So Alabama's got 4 or 5 runners there, and looks like the top 15. Francisca Drexler of Alabama wearing bib number 14 as well. We got a Kentucky competitor, Chesney McPherson, up there in the lead pack there, mixing it up with all these ladies. So looking good right now. Obviously, it's anybody's race. It's early, but we are through 1,000 meters now, just past 1,000 meters. Ladies are coming up probably on the lowest part of the course right now. Whenever we've got a lot of rain, this particular section can be a little muddy, but luckily, Tropical Storm Francine, Hurricane Francine, depending on when it came through your area, did not affect us too much here other than some high winds. So we apologize for the dropping frame rates. This particular section of the course is very, it's the furthest part away of the course. It's difficult to get to, but should pop back up in just a moment here. All right, and just like that, we are back. Like I said, that little section between the 1,200 meter mark and the 1,600 meter mark is just really difficult section on the course to get to. It's out by the main highway. Lots of interference going on there, but nonetheless, we're back here, and we are going to get you some splits for that 1,600 meter mark as best we can. So that is Nancy Chapleting of Louisville up there, along with Doris Lemingale of Alabama, Feline Charuto of Alabama. Those three ladies there are trying to break away from the group here a little bit. They're coming up a little bit of a hill here. This is about the 2,000 meter mark or so. A little bit of a rise, and then they'll level out. And they'll go around a little patch of pine trees. Then they'll have another slight little climb to the halfway point of the course here. Looks like we've got lots of Auburn fans in the chat. Carson and Rex, appreciate you guys tuning in. So Doris is coming off an absolutely phenomenal track season here. She's just in her sophomore year at the University of Alabama, so she's kind of leading the way right now, probably pushing the pace a little bit here. She's run this course once before, so she's familiar with the course layout. She ran this meet here last year, as a matter of fact, and won it with quite a bit of ease. All right, and they're coming up here. This is about the halfway point here. This is Doris Lemingale of Alabama. Got a really good close shot of her right from the gator there. And she's trying to break the group here at the halfway point of the race there. You can see over to your left there on the course is actually where the finish line is located. So they're going to do a little loop up the hill. Same loop as the men do on the second race, or second lap of their race. The women do the 5K loop here. So, again, this is Doris Lemingale of the University of Alabama here, trying to be the back-to-back Southern Showcase winner. And she's doing a good job so far. Has run away from her teammate as well. Well, we will have to wait and see how it all plays out here, because it is still early in the race. This is Feline Charuto of Alabama there. She is in second place, and she is trying to break away from the unattached runner. I believe it was unattached runner. Faith Nyathi went through the mile in 5:19. That was these three ladies. All went through that 1,600 meter mark in 5:19. Doris does a little shoulder check there, kind of see where she's at in the group of ladies here. So 10 minutes on the clock right now, roughly, and we are coming up on the 3,200 meter mark here this morning, and we will have live splits for you as well. Again, Express Timing has provided all the timing coverage for today's events, and they do a tremendous job. So coming up on the 3,200 meter mark right now, and we will get some splits for you. But Doris Lemingale of Alabama is opened up the lead a little bit more even here. Looks about 30, 40 meter gap onto second place, and she goes through unofficially in 10:29 there for Doris at the 3,200 meter mark. Nice little downhill on the course here. You can tell she's leaning into it, rolling down the hill. She's got 11 seconds over Feline Cheruto of Alabama, the freshman. Faith Nyathi back in third there. It's the unattached runner, 10:41. Nancy Chepleading of Louisville, the freshman, 10:48 through 3,200 meters. Layla Robke of Louisville, so they've got two in the top five, 10:53 through 3,200 meters. Rachel Sukup, 10:56 out of Belmont. Alabama's third runner now, Addison Dorenkamp, 10:57 in seventh there. Doris does another check over the shoulder. She just continues to open up her lead. She's about to make her big climb here on the course at John Hunt. It is the only real big hill, big climb at the course here at John Hunt, but it is a climb nonetheless. You'll see her go to the arms a little bit more, shorten the stride a little bit, but she has continued to open up her gap over second and third place there. Looks like Faith, the unattached athlete, Nyathi, has closed the gap a little bit, back to second position now. That's Feline Cheruto of Alabama. So they're in 2 and 3 right now, and it looks like another 20-meter gap or so back to fourth place there, which should be Nancy Chepleading. So right now, Doris is at the highest point of the course, 1,000 meters to go for her here in this women's 5K. So she is rolling now on the downhill. You can see off in the distance. You can give you some perspective on the hill. It's not a steep downhill, but it's nice and gradual. If you're feeling good, you can really roll on this section of the course and open up. So she is well on her way here. Less than 1,000 meters to go now for Doris in this women's race. "13 minutes on the clock now for Doris, so she's coming up. Less than 800 meters to go. We appreciate everybody coming in to tune. Doris is not making this exciting for the viewers at home unless you're a huge Doris fan, which there's nothing wrong with that, but she is running away with this thing this morning here. She just continues to open it up. Fortunately or unfortunately, give you everyone at home a little perspective. There was a lot of teams that wanted to or thought about canceling coming up for this meet just because of the weather, but due to NCAA rules, you are required to have so many regular season meets, and so with that being said, if the meet's not canceled, then you got to make sure you get in your schedule, otherwise you will be sitting at home. This has happened to a few athletes and teams over the years where they didn't run enough regular season meets, and then unfortunately were left out of championship racing. So coaches have wisened up a little bit and made sure that doesn't happen anymore. This is Doris Lemon-Gallet of Alabama with 600 meters to go now. Final downhill. Nice downhill coming up with, you get about a 200-meter down stretch here on this course, and then it flattens out just a little bit, and then you'll come down the home stretch, which is just slightly downhill, but not a huge advantage on it or anything by any means. But you can see that she's really just opened up this lead, continued to open up this lead here this morning. All right, this is Doris Lemon-Gallet of the University of Alabama coming up, and you should see that lead cart here coming up along with Doris there, and it is just moments away from pulling off, so we are going to get a good shot of her coming down the home stretch here. This is Doris Lemongole of the University of Alabama coming in for your 2024 win at the Southern Showcase presented by Jacksonville State. 16:04 on the clock for Doris there, making it look easy. (16:03.85) officially there for Doris. It is going to be Feline Tarudo of Alabama holding on for second place there for her team. And then Faith Nyathe, the unattached athlete, 16:39, does hold on to third place. Layla Roepke of Louisville back in for 16:40. And now it's going to be a race for the team title as the runners start really flying in here. We got 8 in. Now 16:56 for Bria Bennis of Vanderbilt, the freshman. Addison Dornkamp is Alabama's number 3 back in 9th position, 16:59. Leslie Green of Chattanooga rounds out your top 10 in 17:02. Brooke Garter of Belmont in 11th. Kate Jorberg of Georgia Tech, 17:07. Ramat Jamo of Mississippi State, the junior, back in 13th. I want to say thank you again for everybody that tuned in this morning to the live coverage. You can see all these ladies. This is an absolutely stacked field here in this women's race. You can see just how many athletes are pouring in the finish line right now. Love to see this many athletes competing, putting it all out there. One big event. Again, there's about 50 teams registered for this weekend's meet. The women's race had 536 entries, so spectacularly large field, and this just shows you the thought and the design that went into John Hunt Park, that it can allow 500 athletes in one race. And yeah, sure, there's a lot of ladies coming in right now. It's a little chaotic, but it could still handle it, and these ladies are running tremendous right now. 18:55 on the clock right now. Looking good, ladies. Again, if you're sitting at home, need to see all the results, you can check out your athletes' results, team results at expresstiming.com. That's the letter X, P-R-E-S-S, timing.com. Again, Dan and Paul over there do a wonderful job with all the results. The Huntsville Sports Commission here in Huntsville, Alabama. These events wouldn't be possible without their support and help, so we thank them so much for everything that they do, along with the City of Huntsville, Huntsville Parks and Rec. If you haven't dropped a subscribe, please do so. It doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe to the Running Lane channel. The more you do, the more we can do as far as providing coverage for this event and other events. We hope to be partnering up with some other meets in the not-too-distant future as well to continue to provide coverage for the sport that we love so much. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we're going to keep this finish line camera on here for all the athletes coming in, so we're not going home yet. All right. Thanks again for tuning in this morning to the Southern Showcase presented by Jacksonville State for the men's and women's college races. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. We appreciate it. Again, of course, big shout out to the city of Huntsville, Huntsville Sports Commission. And if you haven't, share the stream with your friends and family back home so they can go back and watch the races. And we'll see you again soon. Have a great day.